Okay, welcome. So on Thursday, I should have been doing Unit 12, but I didn't. I did the writing class. So on Monday, we will be talking about the tests. So you can watch this video to help you study. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in class. All right, so without explaining any more, let's begin. So on page 78, you will find the reading, and these will be the words that you need to know and study for your written test. And they are workplace diversity, achieve, perform well, social responsibility, sales targets, reputation, manage, also manage costs, safety record, costs, again, you can also can be manage costs, environmental performance. So what I'm going to do now is read this. So let's begin. Company performance in a socially responsible world. Every investor loves companies that achieve their sales targets, manage their costs, and perform well on the stock market, and therefore make money. However, a company nowadays also needs to think about its reputation with the public and its own staff. In other words, it has to be socially responsible. For example, it is expected to improve its environmental performance. In addition, it is often judged these days on workplace diversity. The number of women, people from ethnic minorities, and disabled people in all positions, including senior management. This has become an important factor in recruitment. Finally, a company needs to have a good safety record, both in terms of its workers and the products which it produces. In a recent survey, more than half of the people worldwide said they are ready to pay more for products and services from companies that have positive social and environmental policies. This percentage is even higher in Asia Pacific, Latin America, and the Middle East, Africa. Without doubt, profits are no longer the only way to measure a company's success. Employees and customers expect a lot more. All right, so we know the pattern is going to be the same every time. I will have a slide where you would have to, let's say, match the meaning with the word or the word with the meaning. And then there will be something from the book with sentences where you would have to fill in the blank space with the words from the reading, the words in black. So let's move to the next slide, which shows you the words first. This is just to make notes, but you can look at the reading for that. Because what we're going to do now is match. Well, you're going to not match the meaning with the words, but which word goes with the correct meaning. So on the right, you can see the meaning of each word and what is the word for that meaning. So because we are doing this, video wise, you can wait and then you can see what the answers are. but I would say it would be better to pause the video for as much time as you need to try and get the correct uh, word for the meaning. And again, these are the words in the reading that are in black. So please pause the video and I will silently count down from 10. So if you need to pause the video, pause now. Okay, if you have paused the video, you should now have unpaused it to check your answers. And here we go. The relationship between the organization and the environment. Environmental performance. Now, please give me a minute. My mouth is getting a little dry. So I need to pour some water into a cup. And I will get to the next word, which is, hold on. Wow. To succeed in reaching a particular goal or status. Achieve. To achieve a goal. To achieve very good results. Perform well. Companies that take action in favor of society. That would be social responsibility. A variety of differences, gender, age, religious orientation, between people in an organization. Workplace diversity. A goal that a sales team sets to help them improve their performance. Sales targets. The common opinion about how good someone or something is. Reputation. The process of effectively planning and controlling the costs involved in a business. Manage cost, or manage its costs, their costs. Freedom from danger or risk of injury. Safety record. All right, so, and in a case like this, if you need to make any notes or write anything down, you just pause the video. Okay, you've unpaused. Let's move on. Show the arrows. All right, yep, here it is, where you would put those same words from the reading into the correct sentence. So, same thing. Here are the sentences. Pause the video for as much time as you need. And when you are ready to check your answers, unpause. All right. You have unpaused the video and you are ready to check your answers. We're open to both sexes and all races. We believe in workplace diversity. We protect people and nature. We are socially responsible. Our results are good, so our shares always perform well. People like us and respect us. We have a good reputation. We are careful not to spend too much. We manage our costs. We've had no accidents in 2 years, so we have a good safety record. We always sell what we plan, so we achieve our sales targets. We've reduced pollution by 30%. Oh, Uh-oh. Our environmental performance is good. All right, so usually what I do when there's audio, I will turn the video off. So this time though, there aren't many audios, so I'll just play. Actually, you know what? I will turn the video off, and then I will play the audio. All right, here we go. Which of these things up here is each speaker talking about? Here we go. Okay, let me do this.
12.1. 1. It's not how they described it to me. At the interview, they said that their target was to have 45% of management positions filled by women. But 5 years later, I'm still here in the same office, and 2 men who arrived at the same time as me have been promoted above me. It's very disappointing. I really thought I had a big future here. 2.
We've reduced the number of accidents in the plants by 20%. We haven't achieved our target of less than... And we were encouraged by the big fall in serious injuries last year.
3.
We've had a really excellent year, much better than we expected. We're the darlings of the stock market at the moment. If you want to buy shares in a company, I think you should do it now before the price goes up too much.
4.
The last 3 years haven't been very good. First, there was that pollution incident in our biggest factory. Then there was all that media criticism for not using electric vehicles. It's been a very poor performance. Things can only get better.
5.
Well, it hasn't been easy in the last 12 months. The new CEO told us to reduce our costs by 10%. In the end, we only managed a 5% reduction, but then our sales increased by 2%. I think we've had a satisfactory year, but our CEO says our performance has been very average.
Okay, hello. So, as usual, pause the video or go back and listen one more time. But my advice, pause the video and go to the back of the book to help you a little bit. So, if you're going to pause the video, pause it now. Okay, you have unpaused the video. Whether you put the video back a little bit to listen again or you went to the back of the book, I don't know, but all I know is that we are now going to check your answers. So number 1, the person was talking about
12.1. 1.
all right, now my mistake, technology, right? Workplace diversity. Number 2, safety record. Number 3, performing well. Number 4, environmental performance. And number 5, managing costs. This is where you would pause the video for as much time as you need to make any notes or copy anything down. So pause the video now. All right, you've unpaused, let's move on. But now we're going to talk about grammar. Okay, we have the past simple and the present perfect. All right, so maybe on Monday, I'm going to try and make time for you guys to do a speaking where you would walk around the classroom asking questions to other students. And the questions would be in the present perfect. But first, let me explain. All right, so the past simple, that would be in the green, that is a finished action. It happened in the past, it ended in the past, it has no connection to now. It's nothing that started in the past and is still happening now. It's over, it's done. However, the present perfect started in the past and it's still ongoing. It's still connected to now. So for example, I can use me as an example because I arrived, I'm going to use both, right? Because I arrived in Korea in the year 2000, past simple, and I'm still living in Korea. I have lived in Korea for 23 years, present perfect. It started in the past, me arriving in Korea, and I'm still here. It's connected. It's ongoing. I'm still here. So that's why I have been living in Korea, or I have lived in Korea for 23 years. Now, the present perfect can also be used for things that you have or have not done, let's say, in your life. Again, we can use me as an example. So one of you might ask me, Professor, have you ever been to Paris? And I would say, yes, I have. And then I would ask you, have you ever been to Paris? And you might say, no, I haven't. I hope one day to go. But in both our lives, from the moment we were born until the moment we are speaking, let's say now, in my life, I have been to Paris. But in your lifetime, so far, you have not been to Paris. That's the other form of the present perfect. Now, what are the verbs used in the present perfect? They're called past participles. And any regular verb that in the past tense ends in ed still ends in ed as a past participle. However, irregular verbs that do not end in ed in the past tense are different. And one way or one group of irregular verbs could be the ones used in the book. So if you go on page 159, you will see a list of irregular verbs that are used in the book. And you will see the simple past and then the past participle. One of them I used, have you ever been? Because you noticed before when I was talking about Korea, right? I have lived in Korea. That's the regular verb, ed. However, Been is the be form of the verb. Am is are. So that would be an irregular verb because it does not end in ed. Right? So I have been to Paris. You have not been to Paris. I can continue more, but my advice, go to page 159, look at the list of irregular verbs that are used in the book. And for the present perfect, you would be looking at the past participle of the verbs. And if you want a complete list or you want to know more, my advice would be you can use Google or Neighbor and just type in present perfect or past participle. Yeah, so let's move on before I make this a whole other class. All right, so present perfect and past simple. Have you, did you? Okay. This is the other part I was talking to you about, the in your life, right? Have you ever been to Canada? I used Paris. So let's move on. Again, just like anything we're doing here, because it's a video, even something like this, if you need to pause the video to make notes, you can, or you can go to the class folder and look at the PowerPoint for units 6 and 12. But let's move on. All right, so this next part is going to be what I hope to have time for in class. It's something where you guys would walk around the classroom asking each other questions. Have you ever? But one thing I want to talk about, and it's in the book, in the language point, the grammar part of the book, been and gone are both used as past participles. I remember I talked about that, of the verb go. Been means they went and came back. Have you ever been to the USA for a holiday? And I used that for Paris. So I have been to Paris. So I went to Paris and then I went back to, I think it was America. And also my wife and I have been to Paris. We went to Paris for our honeymoon and then we came back to Korea. Gone, it means that they are still there. So for example, if you were asking to see me and you went to room 222 and you said, excuse me, I'm looking for Professor Mishler, they would say something like, he's not here, he's gone to Paris for the weekend. Now, I wish I could go to Paris for the weekend, but yeah, it would be something like that, meaning I went, but I will be coming back. Something more realistic would be, he's not here, he's gone to Seoul for the weekend. That would be another, no, that would be more real. It just means that I went to Seoul, I'm in Seoul, and I will be back, let's say Monday. So been would be, I have been there and now I'm back. Gone would be, I have gone, I'm still there and I plan to come back. All right, so this will be what for the walking around the classroom So I will explain this to you, and I will have copies for you. But I'm hoping to make time for this. But yeah, let's get to the language point in the book. This is the same thing we just had. All right, so I'm just going to show you the answers, but of course, for the language points, 1, 2, 3, and 4, go ahead and pause the video for as long as you need to do this. Put in what you think the answers are, and then unpause when you're ready. Okay, you have unpaused and you are ready to check your answers. We use the present perfect to ask, talk about general experience in the past. We use the past simple to ask, talk about actions at a specific time in the past. All right, we form the present perfect with have or have not, has or has not, plus the past participle. We form questions in the present perfect with have or has, plus the subject, who, plus the past participle, right? So if you do have any questions about this, please ask me in class. And I believe that should be all of it. Let's check. Yeah, that should be all. We can do this, but I have not taught this to other students. But this is the use of the present perfect. But I guess for studying, to help you guys study, I will do this. So Naomi Heslin, she's at an interview, and she's trying to get a job at a non-profit. I have an image of different well-known non-profits from around the world. Anyways, they're talking about her experience and such. So she has work experience with small organizations that have operations in Africa. She has worked in Tanzania on the construction of a new school.
6.2.
So, when did you start working in this field?
Well, I left university in 2009 and I got my first job immediately after that.
Uh-oh. Okay, that was my bad. So let me start again.
Have you ever worked for a big organization?
No, I've never had the chance. But I've worked for 3 smaller ones, all with operations in Africa.
I see. And have you been to Africa?
Yes, I have. I've spent some time in Tanzania.
Oh, really? What did you do there?
I was there to help with the construction of a new school.
All right. Just because I made that mistake, I will be playing the audio one more time. But before I do, I'll use that so that you guys can check your answers for number 3. So, as usual, pause the video for as long as you need. Circle what you think is the correct phrase here, and then unpause when you are ready. And what I will do is play the audio so you guys can check your answers. All right, so pause the video now. All right, you have unpaused the video and you are ready to check your answers. Let's check. All right, we will play the audio afterwards. When did you start working in this field? I left university in 2009. Have you ever worked for a big organization? No, I've never had the chance. Have you been to Africa? I've spent some time in Tanzania. Oh, really? What did you do there?
6.2.
So, when did you start working in this field?
Well, I left university in 2009 and I got my first job immediately after that.
And have you ever worked for a big organization?
No, I've never had the chance, but I've worked for 3 smaller ones, all with operations in Africa.
I see. And have you been to Africa?
Yes, I have. I've spent some time in Tanzania.
Oh, really? What did you do there?
I was there to help with the construction of a new school.
All right, great. I hope everybody got the correct answers. All right, same. Interviewer asks Naomi more questions. Complete 1 through 5 using the prompts, then listen to check your answers. So for example, when go Tanzania? When did you go to Tanzania? All right, as usual, take as much time as you need. And when you're ready, you will unpause the video to check your answers. So pause the video now. All right, you have unpaused the video and you are ready to check your answers. Let's go. When did you go to Tanzania? How long did you stay there? What other projects have you worked on? Have you ever managed a team? Why did you decide to work in this field? All right, so let's move on.
6.3.
So, when did you go to Tanzania?
Last year in March, they asked me to go there for the start of construction.
And how long did you stay there?
For 4 months. I came back in July when the school was ready.
So, it went well.
Yes, we finished 2 months early and we saved $10,000 on construction costs.
That's great. So, what other projects have you worked on?
I've done a lot of construction projects, but I've also helped to set up training programs, giving local people the skills they need to manage their lives. Farming, for example, or construction work.
And have you ever managed a team?
No, not yet, but I've had very good bosses and I've learned a lot about managing people. I know I'm ready to do this job.
Yes, I'm sure you are. Tell me, why did you decide to work in this field?
My mother lived in Africa when she was a child. She's often talked to me about her life there. I wanted to discover it for myself.
All right, I hope you got them all right. I know that I turned the camera off and it's been off, but there's been a lot of this audio. So I believe we're getting close to the end here. And we are. Homework? No. Questions? Please ask me in class. Review? The only review is that I will try to have time for you guys to walk around and ask questions. I showed you earlier what it's going to look like. And if there is time, I will explain it all. But the first and most important thing to talk about will be your exams. More of the two, the more important one where students have a lot of questions is the speaking. So let me turn the video back on, and I will end with the last little thing over there where it says see you next class. So yeah, that means I'll see you on Monday. Now, if other students from other classes are watching this, great. But I specifically made this for one class because a mistake was made on my part. And anyways, that's not important. The important thing is that you now have a video that you can watch on both the portal and my YouTube channel. So I'll see you guys in class, see you guys in class. All right. Bye.